So we have one team in favor of keeping the legal age as it is, 18. Who's that team? Remind me. You're in favor of keeping the legal age 18. And over here you are in favor of changing the legal age to 21. Okay. Okay. Please, team in favor of keeping the legal age, present your course of action and your 3 arguments. Go.
Well, we're going to invert money in education so that people know what are the obligations and rights when you turn 18 years old. And our first argument is when you educate people before they turn 18 and you tell people their obligations and their rights, you inspire them to do something to achieve their dreams, like working, thriving, getting knowledge, and being responsible of themselves. And when you turn 18, well, the second argument is that when you turn 18, you have the right to vote, but also you have the obligation to know each candidate proposal. This makes voting more diplomatic, democratic, and innovative, since they are encouraging the variety of perspectives.
Thank you.
Becoming legal at age of 18 makes teenagers realize what adulthood is before they get there, and this gives them a chance to adapt and know what they must do before they become adults.
What gives them a chance to adapt?
More time. No, it gives them the chance to adapt when they become legal at 18 because they can adapt before they become real adults.
Okay, I think I understand. Thank you. Good, that's round 1. Now let's listen to the other team side. Please, a course of action and 3 arguments.
18 years old are not aware of their responsibilities and the consequences of their actions might have, such as voting, drinking, and driving at the same time. So when people turn 18, they'll take mandatory courses that involve learning more realistically what does becoming an adult involves. We'll also implement a rough driving course in which they'll have to prove they are ready for such responsibility and are aware of the consequences. Well, the first argument is about drinking.
So what?
Drinking.
Drinking.
Nearly 1/3 of college students have missed a class because of drinking, and 1/5 fail an exam for the same reason. And also, almost 90% of sexual assaults on college impulses involve alcohol.
Main age 17 to 20 account for 3% of the country's driver, but 33% of convictions for dangerous driving, and they are also 10 times more likely to be killed than more experienced drivers, and five times more likely to cause a casualty. And the leading cause of death of men between 15 and 24 is car accidents, and motor vehicles crashes are leading cause of death for U.S. teens in average. 16 age, 17 to 29 people, teenagers that died every day as a result of motor vehicle crashes.
Okay, so our third argument is voting. People of this age, 18, are too easily influenced by their emotions and are constantly a prey for political demagoguery. The appeal that the government may inflict to young citizens. They are not responsible enough, since studies have shown that the brain doesn't finish developing until the mid-20s, and they are more susceptible to peer pressure and less future-oriented.
Thank you. That's round 1. We have the course of argument and course of action and initial arguments. Now let's listen to your rebuttals. We'll start with you.
I think Pau was the one who said that when you are 21, you are more aware of what you do and what your responsibilities. Well, I don't know if you could do. But I think that age doesn't give you maturity. Everyone with our education at home or something, we get more mature than others, all depending on our age. Because there are some people that have like 25 years old and they feel like adolescents and they party all day and they get drunk, and it doesn't matter if they are 25, 30 or 40. There are people that have 50 years old and they still live with their parents and they still go to parties and everything. And that doesn't mean that they are, if they are older than 21, they're more mature. So,
And also, Jackie said that that some rapes were when they were drunk, but that doesn't mean that if you have 18, you're gonna rape someone if you are drunk. You can rape someone if you are 40, 50, and that doesn't change the fact that that the age of 18 is okay to be a legal person, because here in Mexico, the people start creating families at the age of 18, the majority. So you can't depend on your parents when you are already creating another family. So if we think it's okay that 18 is the age of the majority.
Also, ProCon, or the ProCon organization in 2009 made a study that showed that from 21 to 24 years old age group got 35% of the drivers' fatal crashes with alcohol concentrations of 0.08 or higher. They also registered that most of these accidents and fatalities were most common among new legal drinkers, regardless of the minimum legal drinking age.
may I?
Yes, yes.
And you said that a lot of kids, because they are 18 years old and for you that's not an adult, they have a lot of crashes, driving crashes, because they are not experienced drivers. So I was wondering how could they be experienced drivers if you don't let them drive? Because there are people here in our classroom that are 17 years old, 18, and they drive a car, and they haven't ever had a crash accident, a car accident. So, well, myself, I'm 18, and I have never crashed. I'm 19. I'm 19, and I never crashed my car, and I have drove since I was 16. So that's not a point, because every person is different, and the age doesn't give you the security that they will drive safely.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's your turn for rebuttals.
We in our course of action, we said we will implement a road driving course, since they have to learn to drive responsibly. And when we're saying that they cannot drive until they're 21, we are hoping that we're not generalizing anyone, because yes, everyone can drive responsibly even if they are 19 years old. But the studies have shown that many of the car accidents are because of irresponsible underage driving.
Also, you said that some people are starting to raise family on their own when they're 18, but mostly of the people that are doing that is because they didn't want it. They got pregnant, and it was due to having sexual relationships without condom or any
Protection.
or any protection. And most of the times they do have to depend on their families, because they haven't even finished studying, so they can like
They
what,
cannot give the family the stability.
the stability they need.
Okay, thank you. Paola? Jackie? Perfect. That's it for this rebuttal round. Continue, more rebuttals. What do you have to say? What do you have there?
Well, first of all, I think that we're going to have another topic with a baby stuff that you get pregnant and you have to depend on your parents because you haven't finished high school. But I think that's a lie because you can do something with your abilities without having high school. But I think that's other topic.
Okay.
The babies and the family. I think that's another topic.
But to be fair, you brought it up. Your team. Your team brought it up. And so that was a rebuttal.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I think that we're going that topic.
Okay, you
That
put
we
it
should
put it
let
in
it
you
go.
put it in the side for a while. Okay.
I'll put it in the side for a while.
Okay.
I got that.
Okay, then
We'll be
you
back.
said that who made the study that you said that the most of the crashes are from
Teen driver source with .org.
Teen driver.
which year was this
Oh,
study?
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
What's the percentage of car accidents caused by teen drivers?
75%.
75?
75?
So let's just consider that regardless of the number, there is a high number, very, very high number of teen drivers crashing. Let's just work with that. What would you say about that?
That the study that we researched that said in 2009 that most crashes, up to 35%, were from drivers 21 to 24-year-olds with concentrations of alcohol of 0.08 or higher.
But what age were they?
21 to 24.
So you would argue that people crashing are older, a bit older.
Yeah.
That you can crash anytime, not only that you are.
No, wait. Totally, you can crash at any age, but the point is that you will say most of the crashes are by teenagers,
Yeah.
and you will say no, most of the crashes are for 20-somethings,
Uh-huh.
by 20-somethings. Okay, well, so if you have different facts there, then well, there's nothing we can do. But we can explore the issue totally.
Okay, and I remember who said that when we are 18, we are more influenced by people, so we vote for that candidate. Well, if you see the last elections, I was with my mom because she was voting, and I saw a lot of people, grown-ups, that they were getting paid, so they vote for. May I say that team?
Don't say the name. Don't say the name of the party.
candidate,
Uh-huh.
and they were older, and some of my friends that were like 18 years old, and they were fresh and new. They study a lot about the candidates. That's why we said here that when you turn 18, you should have the right to vote and the obligation to know each candidate proposal, so you can do a good election and not get influenced. Because as we said, age doesn't matter if you get influenced or not.
And these obligations are said in the Constitutional Article 36.
What obligations?
The
That-
one that you need to know every candidate's proposal,
Okay.
and you need to register the cadastre municipality.
If you want to be
You have to go to popular elections in the terms that the law indicates to perform in the positions of popular elections of the federation or the states, and to perform municipal councils and.
Well, it's okay. We don't need that whole article, but we get the main idea. And the truth is that even if we are 30, 40, 50, we don't even know about that. No?
And also one time, well, this is a personal experience. One time they came to my house asking for, for the money that one candidate was giving them for the vote.
like a reimbursement.
No, they came to my house and said, here is where they made the money of.
Of that guy.
Like inviting you to go and make your donation.
No, they to recollect the money that they
So
were promised.
it's
They
like
thought-
you vote for me,
no.
okay, I give you money.
And
So
then
you can
I'm
vote
asking
for
for
me.
this money to my house. But they are from a complete different.
They thought you were.
Voting for them.
Yeah,
They
that
thought
she
you-
was the one giving away the money.
So they had the wrong address.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So you can get paid for anything, and if you have your values and your moral correct, you are
Yeah.
not gonna accept it. It doesn't matter the age you are.
That's why our first statement, course of action
Is
is
to encourage
education.
education.
That people must know how he can be or she can be grown up before they turn 18. Because, for example, now here in Tech, we are 18, and until now they tell us you have to have a visa, you have to have an INE, you have to know your candidates, and we think that if you know that stuff earlier, like when you're 16, you prepare yourself, you prepare people to be a grown up at 18.
And be
Okay.
more responsible.
Okay. Great rebuttal round. Please.
Honestly, I'm going to say this. When we are 16, we do not care about political statements or political parties. What we care about is passing school. And when right now, even right now, the citizenship class we have, we do not care. Like really, we were in the conference in the Zoom. We were talking while they were telling us about legal driving. The education we need to have is when we are 18, when we actually care about what we have to do as citizens.
Order in Congress, please. Order in Congress. This is like the real Congress, right? Please continue. No, but so even if there was education for 16-year-olds,
Yes,
it would be money down the drain.
yes, because we don't actually care. And when we are 18, we know that, okay, we need to get ready about life. We need to start thinking about our careers. So the education we need to have is when we are 18, when we actually care about things, when we actually need things to become citizens. And then we could be ready to become a citizen when we are 21, when we actually have the ability to recognize our responsibility with our country, with our nation.
Also, as a personal experience, once I talked to a campaign chief from a political party, like a couple of years ago, and I told him, why don't you look more for young people instead of targeting for older people? And he told me, because at least in Mexico, most of the people are influenced by their parents when they're 18. So if you convince their parents, they will convince their kids, because we are really influenced by our parents, whether we want it or not. So
Okay.
I think that at 21, we can have like a more clear view of what's going on.
And the influence of our parents will be lower.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah. This is your round.
And also, if we have the education we need at 21, we wouldn't accept money for our vote, for our liberty to choose what we need to represent us.
There's a higher chance that we are not influenced. However, I have to say that they just made the point that people can be influenced at any age.
Yes, but if we have the education at 18 to 21 years old, then we wouldn't do that.
I get it. Just before we go back with you, I have two questions that I suggest you to focus on. What would be the advantage of moving the age in practical terms? Because what comes to my mind is, if you move the age to 21, okay, maybe we're more mature, we have more time to understand, to be educated. But that means that before 21, if we do what you say, we wouldn't be able to drive.
No.
We wouldn't be able to smoke, to drink.
No, it's just like right now. We have the permit. We can have a permit for driving
Okay.
when we are 18, and then we can have the actual license when we're 21.
I get it. And so it's about voting. Voting, you wouldn't be able to vote until you're 21. What about, you know that right now if you commit a crime, when you're 18, you're an adult. So moving the age would also move the status of the crime.
Yeah, but it would be, I don't know how to say. like it will be equally penalized, like with juvie, juvenile detention.
Yes, the juvie.
And like,
So, if penally speaking, criminally speaking, it would be the same. That wouldn't change.
yeah, but it would be a much larger responsibility in the kids, on the 18-year-old.
But so this is just to get things straight. If I'm 18 in your new law and I commit a crime, I go to juvie or I go to prison. Juvie. So it would basically mean that the actual prison time will be served only if you're 21 or older. Okay. Thank you. Now you're next. Keeping the age. What are the benefits?
Keeping-
Or whatever you want to focus. I'm just giving you back.
I just wanna tell that you just contradict yourself.
Okay. Why?
When you said that people influence parents, so that parents influence their children. When you say that people can achieve the goal of influence parents, you're saying that influence people can be in any age, no matter the age.
But it's still,
I'm killing her, I'm killing her.
The-
I'm killing her, so.
we
She said like when you're 21, you can't be influenced, and then she said that parents.
no, but she actually explained what the difference would be if you are 21.
They are saying that the parents can be influenced and influence their children. I think that they are saying that because they can be influenced.
But we address the issue. The difference is that now the 21-year-old will be educated in this different law. You see what I mean?
And I was wondering that you said that I wasn't in the Zoom, but you said that we didn't care. But I think that you should talk about yourself. I didn't care because I think there are people that care. I know this girl and she knows about politics. She knows it. She wants to know and she tells me. And I first I think I didn't care. Now I care. And she cared and she is 18. And she's 18. And when did you know that people care?
Okay, that would be
I
the
think
issue.
first, age doesn't give you maturity. You don't have to have 21 to be mature. That's untrue.
Another thing would be that here, for example, we complain about the government since we are 16 or less, and we're always talking about like, oh, the president doesn't know what he's doing. But we complain and we don't do anything about it. So that's why we want to invest in education, because this would teach us that we just don't need to complain, we need to do something to change it. Like if we know what to do, what voting means, we can know that if we all grow up and know proposals or know what we have the right to do, we will all make this better and not just complain.
And also right now, if you are 18, you can already postulate to be an independent candidate to change something that you don't want. You only need to have the 2% of the total. To be an independent candidate, you need to recall.
To collect.
To collect is 2% of the signs of the active voters.
Signatures.
Uh-huh. 2% of the signature of the active voters.
And what is the advantage of that?
You can be the candidate. You can change the things that you don't like,
Okay.
but you have to work for it.
Okay.
And another thing that a fun fact that is not that funny, but a lot of criminals, tell teenagers to do something wrong, because when before they turn 18, they can't go to jail. And if you upload the age to 21, it will be more possibilities that criminal standards go up, because a lot of people will have 3 more years to do bad stuff. So
Okay, that's an issue. That's an
a
issue.
fun fact that is not funny.
More like a trivia.
And trivia.
Okay, last rebuttals, and then we have our conclusions. Go.
first of all, I apologize for generalizing people about some people are involved in politics, and like you're involved in politics and you know what's going on in the world. But it's not all the cases, and we have to realize that, and that's where, and I'm going to emphasize even more, education. We need education since we are 18 years old, and when we're 16 years old, we cannot handle the pressure. We cannot handle the pressure that political decisions have on us. So I think we need to realize that. Even if you are, you can start a campaign to change something in your state or in your town, but we cannot have that pressure in a person that is not educated enough to know what is right or wrong for our country.
Also, you said that you said that some people at our age are involved in politics. But for example, I can assure you that most of the people in here doesn't know their whole rights. So because and it's not our fault, we're too busy, because right now, at 18, we are really busy looking for scholarships, looking for a college, looking for what we will do when we are older. So we can focus, we can handle like all these pressures at the same time, because it is a lot of responsibility for an 18-year-old. At least that's my point of view.
Okay. Any final rebuttal before we reach our conclusion stage?
They said, I think to a view, that we, as 18 years old, we are more susceptible to other people's influences. But if we had, like my partner said, education, we could have avoided all of that. So,
That was your team.
Your team said
no,
that
they said
yeah.
something about, I think it was Frida that said something about becoming a little too fast and something about driving. I just don't remember what you said.
Something about driving that.
About becoming an adult really fast.
The crashes, the 21 and 24.
Yes, your source has info that crashes are mostly at 20-somethings.
That could have been avoided if we had, like we said in our course of action, mandatory courses that are like road driving courses. So that could have been avoided if we had driving courses at 18.
Correct. Thank you. And now, I have, because we have another debate coming. 1 minute, team back to present your conclusion. Please, 1 minute. Members of Congress, Daniel Dorantes, no, you don't need to pause it. Oh, you could pause it. Too much talking.